But Lucas has definitely been doing his homework on a couple draft prospects for the Detroit Lions. And if you guys follow Woodward Sports on Twitter or Instagram, he'll follow through and he'll post those prospects on an Instagram post or Twitter post and all the D-Riding information that comes along with it. And one of the names he's found himself enamored with as of late is the linebacker out of Arkansas, Drew Sanders.
Drew Sanders is a dog. His first 2 years, he was at Bama. I believe I could be wrong, but out of high school, I believe he was a defensive end, and then he got moved position to middle linebacker. Obviously, Bama's going to be loaded out the ass at the middle linebacker position, so couldn't really find his way there. Went to Arkansas, and this year he absolutely balled out. He put 9.5 sacks up as a middle linebacker, and he also got interception, 5 pass breakups, forced 3 fumbles, and had over 100 tackles. So I think for the Lions at like the 18 pick, or if they trade back, if they use that 6th pick, get some draft revenue, maybe if he even falls in the early second, because linebackers, I don't think they're very deep this year as far as like top end prospect after, I mean, if you want to consider Will Anderson a linebacker, whatever, but after that, it's not that deep. So if a team doesn't take him in the first round, I think he should be an automatic second round pick for us. There's nothing this guy can't do. I think if TJ Watt was a middle linebacker, this is exactly what he would look like.
Okay.
That's where and by the way, I feel like we've like almost forgotten the linebackers needed in this team. Like when we talk draft, for some reason, and I guess I get it, edge is such a premier value, but we've almost like leaned still back into like the edge category. All the linebackers, like a literal need on this team.
Yeah.
Somehow we've seen Brian Branch as a safety prospect to the Detroit Lions. Like everything but linebacker. I don't understand how we forgot about the linebacker position being one of need for the Detroit Lions. Drew Sanders is one I looked into, and I guess I got to look more into it. When I see it, I see what you're saying about TJ Watt like, as a linebacker, but in that, I almost feel like he's almost a bit stiff. Just from my little bit that I've done. Again, I haven't taken like a deep dive into it. I mean, there's a couple of the names that I found, but what were you about to say? What are you laughing at, by the way?
You started roasting him in the chat. Doughboy Steve said, I thought I was white, but goddamn.
Every time.
But,
I can't help it's genetics.
I did look at some linebackers as well, some guys. Obviously, Noah Sewell is somebody that Lions fans have been talking about a lot, not just because he's Penei Sewell's brother, but because he is a monster out there. He makes a lot of tackles. He flies around the field. He's very, very athletic for his size. He's 6'2", 253. He's got a 4.5 40. So it's impressive to see him flying around. The problems about him is that he over pursues a lot, and it might open up lanes for cutbacks and counter runs and different things like that. And he's projected, late first, early second. But a guy that I really liked that I looked at was I might butcher his last name, is Owen Papoi. Out of Auburn. Yeah.
Bro, I was watching his
freak.
Cracking dudes.
Lays the boom.
Laying dudes out.
He's 6'1", 225, ran a 4.3 40. He is just an athletic freak at middle linebacker. It's very impressive to see what he can do both in coverage and, like you said, lays the boom on people. So this is a guy that they're projecting second, third round-ish. He's equally good in the run as he is in the pass. He's got elite playmaking ability from the linebacker spot and the ability with crazy speed and range to make things happen, like I said, both in the passing game and in the run game. This is somebody I like a lot, somebody I was watching a lot of tape on today, and he impressed me. He stood out a lot. Like you said, he makes a lot of big hits. Yeah. He goes after the ball, too. It's not just – he doesn't just go up there and tackle somebody. Like, he's trying to rip that ball out, and he's extremely fast, so the sideline-to-sideline speed is always there. This is a guy I like, and this is a guy that I've seen that I wouldn't mind seeing in Honolulu Blue.
Yeah, I did the same thing today, did homework, because I just feel like we're forgetting about the linebacker position. And I know you said this class feels weak to you, Lucas. I actually kind of feel the opposite, just from the little bit that I've done. At least stronger than last year's, not so much.
Not so, weak isn't the right word, but as far as like usually there's that number
Cream
one, like
top.
the Micah Parsons, just that number one guy that is just going to change your defense. And I just don't think there's like that top 10 like pick for sure that's a linebacker. I mean, that's not saying that there's not talented linebackers out there, but this isn't necessarily a linebacker heavy draft compared to what normally is, because there's just so many linebackers out there usually.
All right, the little bit of linebacker homework that I did, there were a couple names. I even reached out to Scott Bischoff and our guy Russ. But before I reached out to them, actually the reason I reached out to them.
Form your own opinions, all right?
No, I did, but I reached out to him to like verify it, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to brag, but your boy's batting 1,000 when it comes to linebacker projections. All right.
One for one, never lost.
I like Devin Lloyd too, but DeMarvion Overshown out of Texas.
Yeah.
6'4", 224 pounds. 32-inch arms. This is a former defensive back playing the linebacker position now.
That would be nice.
Elite athleticism. I'm telling you guys, when you put on the tape, like, you're going to see the speed. Obviously, he has a former defensive back, and that's what today's modern day NFL is looking towards when you have all these nickel packages. This kid, and this is why I texted Scott, and this is why I texted Russ, because he's projected as of now as like a third or fourth rounder. But I'm watching the tape on this guy, and I'm like, how?
Yeah.
He's got the speed. He's 6'4". The knock on Malcolm was he had everything but the size.
Yeah.
This kid's got everything. He's not laying the boom, but he's a sure tackler where he's just wrapping up the legs. And again, I just can't get over the size and the fact that he did play defensive backfield. Like, if I have a guy that could play essentially like everything that I loved about Kyle Hamilton at the linebacker spot, or roaming around.
Hybrid.
Yeah, that hybrid type. That kid. I don't know. Russ. I'll tell you exactly what Russ said when I asked about him. He said something about his tackle, and Scott Bischoff said, "Shut up, stop texting me, you fat bit." No, I'm kidding. This is what Russ had to say about DeMarvion Overshown. That's a wild name, by the way.
That's a dope name.
It is a dope name, but I suggest he change it when he comes here, just so it's easier on me. That'd be nice. Listed at 6'4", but lacks the same muscle and mass as other players his size. Missed quite a few tackles and shedding blocks. Isn't his strong suit. I think his testing will be huge for him. He's probably third or fourth round. But Russ's favorites, if you guys want to update on his linebackers that he loves, was Trenton Simpson, obviously. The guy at Clemson. He's going
to be a top 15 pick.
Yeah. Everything that I'm looking at DeMarvion Overshown to be is like what Trenton Simpson already is coming out of Clemson this year. But then he has a Diane Henley and then Henry 2020, the dude from Alabama, number 10.
Yeah.
I peeped him a little bit too. I guess when I saw 2020, and I don't know if I'm saying that incorrectly or not, but I saw the raw athletic traits, but I don't know if I trust him in coverage and stuff. Alabama defenders are kind of sketchy to me just because I feel like they're more of a collective. You know what I'm saying? Although this year they weren't even really that great.
They weren't that great. No, they didn't have everything. It wasn't the Alabama teams of the past where they had all those 5 stars littered throughout the team, but they were still a good defense. And I watched his tape as well. I was gonna put him up there, but I had the same kind of feeling. I see the raw talent and playmaking skills, but I really like that guy Owen Popoe just because he is a freak athlete, man. A freak athlete, and that's something if you can get your hands on as an NFL team, as a coaching regiment, and you can mold that into a great player. Something I would like to see.
Yeah, I guess I was looking at the docs on him that I wrote down as good things, but quick feet, smart, good with his hands. But the other thing was the undersized, but when he gets there, he's bringing the hammer.
Yeah,
he's just senior. He's a little bit older than the other guys. There's another kid too, Jack Campbell, out of Iowa. Call him Captain Jack. He's 6'5".
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching him at pass coverage because he doesn't look like
he's
overly.
wide.
Yeah, he's wide. High motor.
Yeah, high motor.
He doesn't look like overly athletic.
Good locker room guy.
But he's 6'5". So when he's in pass coverage, he just makes these plays.
Yeah.
That I'm saying normal dudes don't. And they obviously got DeMarvion Overshown, who again around the same damn size, 6'4". I feel like he just as athletic. I mean, these are later round guys. If you're not looking at Trenton Simpson in the first round.
For the Lions having so many picks, especially early, we're in an opportunity where we can sit back. So I think it's a perfect draft for the Lions to get a linebacker. And I don't really think they can go wrong because none of them are really stiff as a board and can't move across the field. Go back to even Drew Sanders. He's 6'5" and he can cover field to field. You go back. Because you said I can't remember the name of the dude from Auburn, like you were saying. When is he mounted to go? Because running a 4.3 at a linebacker position is just okay. Whatever. He runs a 4.3 development. It's perfect.
Yeah.
When is he mocked?
He's mocked second or third round.
I do want to finish a little bit of the linebacker conversation because there's one person that your guy reminds me of, which is Drew Sanders, the kid out of Wyoming last year. I can't think of his name. Yes. That's what it reminds me of. Which quick speed, quick burst, obviously good tackler, but I feel like the reason why I say boxy, I just feel like the fluidity isn't necessarily there. In terms of the modern day defense, I want somebody with a little bit of that because they'll be more likely to be in coverage.
Yeah.
Than not.
Yeah.
Especially in a field or in a division with Justin Fields. It's definitely not bad. I just think Sanders more the guy, if you can build him into his potential, I think he could very well be a top 5 linebacker. Just because 6'5", and he's a smart guy, like transferring from Alabama, not playing much, to instantly starting and producing in an SEC defense, and he was the captain of the defense. I think it says something within itself.
Yeah, for sure.
We had that graphic with the stats up there too, Chris. If you don't mind pulling that up.
Yeah, I mean, dude went crazy.
Look at this.
This is junior year at Arkansas, especially. I mean, at the linebacker spot. Again, former edge rusher, but 9 sacks this year.
Yeah.
13 and a half tackles for loss, and then 103 total tackles. That's pretty damn good. On top of 5 deflected passes
Pretty damn good.
and 3 forced fumbles.
And an interception.
And an interception.
And a fumble recovery.
Yeah. Like the numbers, and that's SEC.
He
Yeah.
lays the wood.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
He lays the wood.
And that's not like, yeah, you're formerly part of Alabama, but that's not like an Alabama defense he's a part of putting up those numbers. Dude was balling. I can't deny that. But, what, you want to read another comment?
Bobo44 done milking, which is just a wild name. He said the doctor slapped his mother when he was born. Jesus Christ.
I got a couple other names on the list, or do you just want to jump into the defense?
No,
Talking
you
about
can keep
the Giants
going.
defense.
I think I like Sanders. I think when you posted the highlight tape of him on Woodward,
Yeah.
Yeah.
one of him running down Bryce Young, that was pretty impressive.
That's the one that got me too.
Yeah,
I'll have to catch that one. That's on Twitter?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
the...
Go ahead, my bad.
No, you're good. I said that's the one thing I wish we could do on the show is, like, play highlights when we're talking, because, like, it's kind of hard to
Imagine this.
articulate that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What if I
Imagine this
told
great
you?
play.
6'5" white boy chasing down Bryce Young.
What if I told you that this man
Yeah, they need to make
chased
a
down Bryce Young?
E60 on him.
For sure. Do-do-do-do. Or whatever the E60 noise is.
If there's like 2 names, I guess like I put like my Malcolm Rodriguez stamp on it. And this draft class is one's gonna be DeMarvion Overshone, obviously the kid out of Texas, and the other one's probably gonna be Keanu Benton. But the one guy I'm gonna keep an eye on, just because I'm curious how that's gonna translate to the league, is Jack Campbell. That's another 6'5" guy, the one out of Iowa. Just
I
because
didn't see anything on him.
I really didn't watch tape on him. I was just kind of like cramming this pause, but just watching him in coverage, it was really like just his length, dude. He's 6'5", and I don't know how athletic he is. Again, I didn't watch like a whole game tape of him, but more so highlights, and just like I saw 2 interceptions he made just from being fucking 6'5". And like, I'll put my big ass arm up, yeah. Just grabbing the ball.
Football?
Yeah, it was like I was like, holy shit. And then he also has a pretty cool name. It's Captain Jack, which is like I like that as a nickname.
Yeah.
I don't know if that fits here in Detroit.
kinda
Maybe
whack.
so. You think it's whack?
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'm not calling another man captain. I'm sorry.
Dude, if he's the
Captain
man,
Jack.
call Captain Jack.